to, if you have colleagues that you're working with that are in different cities or different states, you can set up a web conferencing session for free over the internet. Or if you need to do remote control, this is something that I use with clients of mine. It's called Teamviewer, teamviewer.com. And you might be familiar with LogMeIn or Go to Assist or Go to My PC. This is just like that, except it's free, and the thing that I like about it is you can run this without installing it. You just run the program on both ends, they provide the information that's there, you have a remote control session, then when you shut the software down, nothing is installed on the remote computer. Now, I like this for people when I do support of their private computers, because when I'm done with the remote control session, they don't have to ask themselves, is this guy coming into my computer at night after I'm done and things are going on? You know, none of this, and you don't have those trust issues. And there's other software that I can go in here, but you know, we can get into this as we go on. You know, I want to respect my time here. I'm already a little over. And we're going to open up the floor now to question and answer sessions. But basically, you can see that the power of the internet now and technology, you don't have to be a geek, you don't have to be a techie. And it's not about, as I say, the business of technology. It's about the technology of business. And that is the value of free.
That was great, Cornell. And a quick thing about MailChimp is that it has a very robust third-party marketplace, meaning that there are a bunch of vendors that go out and they've created other types of applications that can plug into that email software so that it enhances the functionality that you can get. So it's one of the most aggressive in that regard, more than Constant Contact or iContact or some of those others that also do email marketing. Derrick just had a couple of quick extra words.
And there's an app for that.
And there's an app, and there's virtually an app for anything. Anything that you have on your desktop, if somebody doesn't have an app for it, they will in a matter of weeks. You can access it by your mobile phone, your mobile laptop, your mobile tablet PC, anything. Derrick had a couple of quick words about mobile apps.
Well, that actually is a great segue into what we were going to look at, which was just to kind of integrate what we were talking about, what Cornell masterfully kind of outlined for us is now, your office has now gotten smaller, right? So the marketplace has expanded, but now your office is now getting smaller. And what we're looking at is how do we maximize and be as productive as we can be on our mobile devices. And a lot of, I know that when my mom, she's in her 70s, she doesn't like certain mobile devices. She doesn't like the touch screen. She wants to feel the tactile feel. Whichever feel you need to get, work it out. But here are some additional apps now. So from Google Documents to now having a mobile office that allows me to access my documents from any place in the world. We're talking about Dropbox, which is a highly rated program that allows you, much like Google Documents, allows you to access your documents anytime, anywhere from your mobile device. Scanner is one of the several scanning softwares that uses the camera in your phone to scan digital devices and send them as either emails, print, or fax. In fact, there's a new app for iPad called Sign My Pad, which allows you to actually type text on a PDF document and then resave it with your signature and then send it. So now when we're talking about a greener world, we're talking about participating in a paperless society, because now we're able to maximize the productivity on these documents. Fring is a video conferencing call. When we talked about my virtual assistant, now there are electronic digital virtual assistants that allow you, it allowed me to fire my virtual assistant in the Philippines and India, and now utilize the power of my phone. So Lingo is a app that allows you to talk to your phone via certain commands to either send out emails on the go, open up applications, or to even search documents, search terms on Google. It is a tremendous app. It's available on iPhones and Android phones, which are right now the industry leaders in terms of applications. I know I was a crackberry at one point in time, but again, I stay very close to what my companies are doing, and as you see, when a company fails to innovate, then they fall behind. And that's why Rim was talking about letting go staff and restructuring their business, because they have not opened up their platform. And really the power of this is that there are programmers and developers from all over the world who are finding ways to make your phone, your mobile device, that much more productive for you when you use it. Swipe is another e-commerce and e-pay technology, which is, again, something very powerful. When I used to do trade shows, they would give you this little scanner, and you would stand there for the whole day, you would scan people's little badges. Well, at the end of the day, I realized I would have close to 200 to 500 leads, but none of these people gave me any money. And when I called them the day after, they conveniently forgot who I was. So one of the things that you want to do, the benefit that these gentlemen have identified, these applications, is that you don't want to lose the sale. If someone is willing to pay you at that moment, find some way for them to pay you. Having this device on your document is really key. These last three are, we talked about Expensify, which is close to the, it's again, just simply keeping expenses online. iTeleport, which allows you to remotely access your document. Like, I'm the type of person, if I forget to send something, I can actually go to my PC through my phone and access documents. But this last one is the most, I think, most profound, which is Google Voice. And Google Voice, when we talked about how do small companies get big, it's really about perception. It's really about, am I really talking to someone on the end of the phone, or are they in their basement in their socks and pajamas doing business? And the reality is you'll never know the difference, okay? What Google Voice allows you to do is it allows you, like some of the very familiar phone tree systems, it allows you to reroute a call to a phone number that you're available. But what's more profound about Google Voice is that it allows you to record a separate voice message depending on who calls you. So my mother is not going to get the same message as my client, but she has to call the Google Voice. It also transcribes the voice message so that those of you who are auditory, kinesthetic, and visual, you now have multiple ways of accessing that lead. That person that called you is either going to come to you by text, by email, and a voice message. And then lastly, which is again, empowering the use of the web, Google Voice, and we have this actually on our site as well, you guys can try it. It allows you to literally go to someone's website, and here you have what's called a call me button. And what it simply means, and when we're talking about, my firm does search engine optimization and finding ways of converting leads online. And one of the things that we found is that when people have a question and they want to ask a question, they want to be able to reach someone. Well, by putting this simple embedded code, it's almost like YouTube. You ever put a YouTube video on your page? It's simply the same thing. It's the embedded HTML code that you simply put on your page. And what happens is someone will click on that and type in the fact that they want to call me. I want to give you the full-fledged number. And they'll simply click on this, and it will start to send a phone call to my phone. If we have the, there we go. So now my phone is ringing, and I access my phone call through the web. And I have the ability to answer this now, and any of my customers have the same ability to call me from my website. So this is what we're talking about, integrated technology for the purpose of maximizing what you can do as a small firm. Lastly, we talked about integrating, and this is a key issue that a lot of companies have this challenge with. How do I integrate social media? Well, I just took a photo of you fine and lovely people while I was sitting here listening to Cornell, and I took a quick pic of you all while we were sitting there. And what it allowed me to do is quickly just take a photograph of you all. that's now posted on my Twitter page. And at the same time, it equally posts to my LinkedIn page as well as to my website, all in one shot. So when we're talking about integrating and being ubiquitous, just like our customers are ubiquitous, take some time to master what we've been talking about. You'll get there. You're a small company, but the web is making it able for you to be empowered just like the big companies.
That's very powerful. And one quick thing about Google Voice. At my company, we don't have landline phones, so everyone has a cell phone. If you call my office and my receptionist is switching a call to me, she's switching to my cell phone. But with Google Voice, if I don't pick up for whatever reason, I call you back. I'm calling you back through Google Voice. You'll still see the same other phone numbers, so you never get my cell phone, because I use this, personal and business. Google Voice helps all of us in our office to be able to use our cell phones for business and for personal without giving our personal cell phones away, because when you call, your call ID shows up. But with Google Voice, being able to call out on Google Voice,
Matches your personal.
exactly. So with that,
If I can, something else just to add on to Google Voice, you can have as many numbers as you want free, and if you need an area code in the state where you want, you can also get that free. But entrepreneurship is about really stepping out and making bold statements, as the brothers have said. And one of the things to go along with that, I was never an opponent of NAFTA. So sending my business across the water was never one of my things. I've met several virtual assistants here. So what it means to me is that in our research, we got to be researching across the world and bringing price points to a level such as brothers or such as business people like this will be able to come in at a price point, and so we can maximize off the numbers. So I just wanted to make that point. I would be remiss not being a opponent of NAFTA to sit here, as an entrepreneur and not share that. We got to come in at price points that's going to make it real for us on this side of the water.
Insourcing instead of outsourcing.
Exactly.
yes. Actually, one quick ground rule. When we're calling you, please stand up, give your name and your company. This is an ability for you to network, but we don't want you to give your entire life story. Just your name, your company, and then your question.
If I can just back that up, Ron Peterson, Alpha American Kingdom Enterprise, Business and Commercial Real Estate Solutions.
It's been a treat to be here with these potential multi-millionaires. I want to raise an issue that a lot of us creative entrepreneurs.
Sir, your name and your company?
Oh, Donald Greenwell, Welfare Enterprise and Bright Star Media. I have a holistic media company. One of our challenges is that we're very talented, got great products. We don't have a lot of capital right now. What I want to suggest we think about is bartering more with each other, because I need techies. I got the baddest, I'm a song star, I got the baddest CDs in the world. I know I can sell millions of these, as well as my holistic products, but I don't have the budget right now. But if we can consider bartering, because bartering is going to be a present reality until we get capital in our community, that we explore that as well. Because we each have a skill, and if we can put these skills together, we can all make money immediately rather than wait.
That's a good way, and I don't know if the panelists want to address that, but also in your particular regards, bartering is one way, but you can also look at iTunes and other ways to get your product out there to market, because basically what you have is a digital file, it's an MP3 file. So it's digital, you can get it out there, you can get it out on Facebook, you can get it out on iTunes, you can get it on a number of ways. I don't know if you guys want to address the...
Well, I don't know if a lot of you people are familiar with a site called Friendster, and the only reason I mention that is because that's where the whole social media thing started. That's why even on Facebook you call it friending somebody. And the way I put it is that Friendster created the concept, MySpace came along and ate Friendster's lunch, and then Facebook came along and cleared the table. Pretty much the only reason that MySpace still exists is as a music distribution site. Pretty much the only people who are still on it actively are musicians. But it has a built into the website player where people can go to your MySpace account, play samples of your song, and then you can make provisions to download. More people are doing purchases through smartphones than even on the internet anymore, and more people are by far on the smartphone internet. than the web. So that is an excellent way. And again, bartering the services to set it up and configure it. You don't necessarily need like a techie like me. You can find a pretty educated college kid who's savvy on how to do MySpace. You can work an internship agreement with them. And trust me, they will hook up your MySpace account very, very sweetly. Put your information up there, and as I shared with PayPal, you can have it all set up so that people can do business with you. You never actually have to interact with anyone. They see your music, they sample it, if they like it, they click a link, they're buying your stuff, they're downloading it, they pay you through PayPal. 24 hours a day, you can be making money.
One question, Thomas was next. Go ahead.
My name is Thomas Lopez Pierre. I'm a real estate broker in Harlem. My question is concerning SEO, search engine optimization.
Yes.
Right now, I'm profiting enormously I have a website, liveuptown.com, and I created a niche of becoming a no-fee broker, which means the landlord pays me
Question though,
broker fee.
question.
Yeah, and the question is, what I want to know is, I'm enjoying something that took a lot of time to put together, but I feel like technology is going to change where I'm beating out the big real estate companies because my only niche is Harlem. So if you're a Cochrane, you're all over the city. So when you type in Harlem real estate or Harlem apartments, I'm number 1 or number 2, number 3. My question to you is, or to the other gentleman is, where is technology going, and am I vulnerable being kicked out of my position that I've worked so hard for by the big boys who, because of technology, they become more smaller as opposed, their size is killing them in SEO. And my size is benefiting me. Where's technology going in terms of where I need to be concerned about that?
I absolutely think that you are vulnerable for this reason. Larger firms are getting smarter about the use of technology as a way to connect with customers. And one of the things that they come up against is that Google is somewhat of the gatekeeper as far as the ways in which people find you online. And they constantly are changing their methods for how they rank quality content online. The challenge with you is that you have to continue to innovate and include what I like to call the 4 C's of online marketing, which is content is king. That's the first thing. So your content has to continually be updated and relevant in order to keep pace with some of the other competitors that are likewise going to be, I'm also a contributing writer for eHow.com. You guys familiar with eHow, the business center? And they basically pay us to constantly submit articles of new content. So you have to find a way to continually add content to your site so that the search engines will continue to reference your particular website as an authority on the subject, whatever the keywords are, Harlem real estate. There was a article in the New York Times about how J.C. Penney and 1-800-Flowers was actually gaming the SEO system. What they were simply doing is they created this what we call black hat techniques of SEO, where they were simply, the way Google looks at it, it ranks you by a number of factors: link popularity, the number of links that are out there, link authority, and where people are actually finding you on the web. Well, what they were doing is they were using these automated softwares that would literally put content about 1-800-Flowers and JCPenney on sites that weren't relevant to the search terms. So what that was doing, it was creating an inordinate number of links that were out there on the web, and Google penalized them for it, or so they said. They penalized them for it by dropping them out of the rankings. But the problem was is that they did it and benefited from it before they got caught. So you're talking about around Mother's Day, 1-800-Flowers, every time you typed in flowers for mom, they came up to the top because they have hordes of technicians doing what we do, but on an ongoing fashion for that business. So as a smart company, I would say where the web is going, the web is actually going to allow social media to be searched more often. And if you can find yourself perhaps tweeting more, using Tumblr more, and again, in ways that are meaningful, using it through your phone, anytime you have an idea, you're updating something, it will allow you to keep pace, and that's really the goal. I'll yield to Cornell.
One of the things, and again, excellent suggestions and comments. One of the things I would suggest is to interact with your social media through your smartphone. One of the things that you can do, in fact, one of the things that I did when I first got here, was through the Facebook app in my smartphone, I was able to check in with the Places thing and say, I am physically here in the Adam Clayton Powell State Office Building, checking in to the summit. So on my Facebook page, it not only shows that I'm here, it shows physically where I am. You know, presence is going to become an important aspect of social media. All of our smartphones now have GPS built in. Not only are you going to want to use presence to promote your business, as Karen suggested earlier, promote others to promote yourselves. You're visiting a client, a colleague, or whatever, check into their location, say, hey, I'm checking out so-and-so. Because as he said, the algorithms, which is the computer programs that check who's relevant, are going to change. Google is always aware that somebody's gaming them. They change how you match into the top hits because they know you understand the rhythm. The rhythm's soon going to go not just blind links, which can easily be figured out, but who in social media is mentioning you, is blogging about you, is posting. So you're going to want to use social media. It's not just saying, I had a sandwich today at Subway's, but you really use it intelligently from a business perspective.